Alrighty, so here is the second example. We have this diagram. PT is parallel to SR, and PR bisects TS. And again, bisects means cuts. So PR cuts TS in half. And if you want, I recommend cuts in half. So PR cuts TS in half. It's a nice little tool to say instead of bisects. So, I've gone ahead and written my first given. I could tell because it was the first given that was given here. This line, these two lines right here means parallel. So I'm going to go over to my definition sheet, look for parallel lines. I scrolled down, I found parallel lines, and I'm going to copy that theorem. Again, you can't copy the angles because these letters are going to be different. So some thinking does have to be done here, but you can copy the theorem. Okay, and then our conclusion is that we get some congruent angles. So these are the parallel lines. This is a transversal. This is also a transversal. I'm going to work with this one just because I know where we're heading. But that would mean that this angle is congruent to this angle. Come on now. This angle, which is angle S. I'm going to move myself over. There we go. So our conclusion is that angle PTQ is congruent to angle RSQ. All right, and then I marked them congruent. Perfect. Next thing is that PR bisects TS. And the way we wrote it down here, PR cuts TS in half. So we look, we've got two segments. So we've got a segment bisector. So we're going to look up and try to find segment bisector. Ah, there it is. Okay, so now we copy that theorem and we put it in for our theorem here. Maybe. There it is. And then we write our conclusion. So again, PR is cutting TS in half. That means that we get TQ and SQ. So our conclusion is that backslash bar space TQ is backslash cong space backslash bar SQ. So now, we've done both of our givens. Once that happens, we need to be looking at the diagram to see if there's anything else that we can be using. Actually, let me think. Sorry, wanted to think about this because there's a couple ways that you could have done this proof. But I want to go a certain way with it. You could have said that this is also, this angle right here is also an alternate interior angle, so is therefore congruent there and there. But I want to, let's just say you didn't see that. You only saw one set of alternate interior angles. With this case, you would have angle, angle, side, and that would work. But we're going to practice working with the diagram. So, if we're looking right here, and remembering back to Unit 1, these two angles are, I'm going to turn my line thickness down, these two angles right here and right here are vertical angles. And they're given to us right in the diagram. So I'm going to show you what to write. So, you would write given in diagram, intersecting lines TS and PR. Here's the thing. If you didn't know that you were supposed to write that, you could go over here, look for vertical angles, inferred from diagram, intersecting lines DC and AB. So you can use this for other pieces except for just the, or beyond just the theorem to get your information. But you did have to know that they were called vertical angles. So we've got that. We can copy our theorem here, And by the way, vertical angles are one of two things that you're going to be able to get from the diagram. The other one is the reflexive property, which is also in that sheet if you can't remember from Unit 2. So intersecting lines create congruent vertical angles. You know, in years past, kids had to memorize this. And our conclusion is that, angle PQT is congruent to angle SQR. Sorry if that's glitchy, I kind of forgot what I said. Alrighty, so now if we're looking, we've got our two triangles. We do have three pieces of those triangles congruent, and it is an angle, a side, and an angle. That is one of our 5 proofs. So our step 4 would be that we have angle side angle is congruent to angle side angle. Then we have congruent triangles. Triangles congruent. Our conclusion is that PQT is congruent to RQS. So again, same structure. I write down the given that they give us. I look on the sheet for something that corresponds to that. I copy and paste the theorem, and then I write down the conclusion from our diagram. Same thing here. Same thing kind of here, but it's given in the diagram. So that's the structure of how we're doing proofs. If you want to practice doing this on your own, you can access this eDoctrina and the other eDoctrina, and then we'll be doing some proofs in class together. But get familiar with the definitions sheet, get familiar with your definitions in general so that you're able to look at these two angles and go, yeah, those are vertical angles. Some of you have been struggling with that since Unit 1, so best to get on that. If you've got any questions, please reach out. Mr. Briggs, out.